Lucy, your neighbor's having sex.
I know, so does the lady upstairs.
The lady upstairs?
Yeah, you'll just hear like something hitting the wall going thump, 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 thump for a really long time, and then it'll stop for a little while, and then it'll keep going, and then it'll stop for a little while, and then it'll keep going.
But still, is somebody visiting her?
I don't know. I don't see who goes in and out of her house. I don't keep tabs on her.
I would.
I don't. You can ask her. You're the only one who's talked to her.
Hey, how can I make this lower?
How low are you still alive also?
Oh, that's so much better. Hello, hello. Hello, recovery mom here. And we decided to do a little live from Lulu's house. Lulu is...
I'm trying to figure out what box I want to put these in.
Lulu is going to pot some plants. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Pot some plants. We just listened to Lou's neighbor finish having sex over there.
I mean, maybe they still are.
Maybe they, I don't know, they got quiet. They were really loud, then they got quiet. We ordered some yummy food. Oh, what did I make the note? Oh my gosh. Every time I go live, I forget what to write. I forget what. You're supposed to write a little description, and I always forget. So I have no idea what our description says. But here we are, hanging out. Lou's going to repot some plants. We ordered some food, so please go get yourself some food, preferably some fear food.
I kind of want to take all my spider plants and put them in one big pot. Would that be a bad idea?
No.
Okay.
No. What do you guys think? Should Lou take their spider plants and put them in a one big pot?
These are all the little babies I got from that one lady at Walmart.
Cute.
With the Ziploc.
Cute.
Good boy, you seem naughty.
Cute. I'm just going to repot some little plants today.
Mom, you put your sweater on one of my plants.
Oh, sorry. I am not a plant owner. I do not do well with plants. I admit it right off the bat.
I didn't think I was either today.
No. Anyway, hi Jessica. Hi everybody. He's eating the spider plant. Loki.
I told you to be on watch.
That's my job. Sorry. Loki, no. Loki, no chewing on it.
Way to go, Mom.
Sorry. Okay, we'll just get Loki. All right, this is Loki, everybody. Hi, Grandma's here. Grandma's here to hang with you.
Oh, that one's kind of...
Anywho, please get some food. I don't know whether it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner where you are. What time is it here? It's a little afternoon. It's a little afternoon, and somebody wanted us to maybe eat some cheesecake. So we ordered some cheesecake, and then I ordered a burger and fries and mini corn dogs, right?
What do you think about this for all of those?
That's cute, yeah. Oh my goodness. Keeping the cats off the plants
or you
is
can
a
put them in
full-time
the
job.
bedroom.
No, I'll put them over here.
Okay.
Behind the TV. There we
I'm
go.
gonna be getting them soon.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll just leave them right there. I'll just keep my eye on them. So anyway, if you're having a rough day and you don't feel like eating a whole lot,
That sucks.
That does suck. It's horrible. But think about something that you can't eat. Maybe challenge yourself just a little bit if you can, and grab a little something and come join us. We're waiting for our yummy food. Look at Loki. Lou's cats are hysterical. They have 4 cats. They'll be all over the place. Here they go.
Oh, Loki.
George is in the window. Loki's down there. And the other 2 cats are always hiding. 2 are always out and 2 are always hiding. So, let's talk recovery.
Yeah. Grab me my big trash can so I can put all this.
Grab you your big... Okay, well, let's talk recovery after I grab a big trash can.
Don't step on my plant.
I will not step on your plants.
You better not.
This one?
Yeah.
I told Papa you bought a big... Where do you want it?
I don't know. Maybe just behind me.
I told Papa you bought a big trash can.
And it's the most revolutionary thing I've ever owned.
I told her you said that.
What did you say?
And he said something about now you're gonna have more trash or something. I don't know.
Actually, I'm not, stupid motherfucker. I had less trash to take out.
Well, and what I
don't know
said,
when the last time I took out my trash was, actually.
I know, what I said was actually then things don't spill over the side of your trash, right?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
you can put big boxes and stuff in there without having to worry about it getting underfilled and stuff.
Yeah,
10 out of
so
10.
it does seem like a really good choice for you. So anyway.
Everybody.
Oh.
What?
Look at Loki. Anyway, we were talking about recovery. Let's talk about ordering food from restaurants, right? Just now we ordered food from Uber to be delivered. And like, I opened up the Uber app. A burger looked amazing. I love burgers, actually.
You do love burgers.
I do love burgers. And the fries looked really good. I got French fries. And I just ordered it. And it was so easy and simple. But when I was deep in it, like some of you, I'm sure, like ordering out is a nightmare. I wouldn't have been able to just order my food and then hand my phone to Eva and then Lou to order. It would have been tormenting. I would have had another tab open in my phone. I would have had to go to each item, see how many calories were in it, think about what I ate yesterday, what I ate earlier today, what I want to eat later, and it would have had to all balance out in order for me to choose what I was going to eat. And that sucks, right? And it's hard to get out of. So you've got to start. Oh, shoot. A problem, child. So in order to get out of that, oh, look at your face. Look, he's just clueless. So in order to get out of that, you just have to start making baby steps, right? So the first thing you have to do is stop looking at the calories. And like, I know you're thinking, I already know the calories of everything. You probably do already know the calories of everything, but stop giving yourself that new information, that hit of dopamine that you get when you see that you're choosing the low calorie option. So first you need to take that out of the equation. So don't look at the calorie count on the menu and don't look up the calorie counts. That's an easy first step to take because you already kind of know the calories. You know what is the most calorie dense thing on that menu. You know what the lowest calorie thing is on that menu already. I know you do. I did, and I know you did. Anyone with an eating disorder already knows what is the densest and least dense food on that menu. So don't feed the anorexia. Stop feeding it new information. Okay, so just don't look.
This one has 3.
Oh my goodness, that's pretty cool.
I know.
Actually, I hate spider
care.
plants, I'm just saying. Someone said, hi there, warrior. Hi there. I hope you're getting some food to eat with us. The cat looks terrified in the window. Look at Loki's face.
I know. He always looks like that.
Oh my goodness, Eva, look at Loki's face. So, first step, don't feed yourself any new calorie information, please. You already know it in your head. There's no need to feed yourself the new information. Over time, you'll start forgetting. I know it sounds crazy, but over time, you will absolutely stop forgetting the calorie count of things.
You'll start forgetting.
You will start? Is that what I said?
You said stop.
Oh, stop forgetting. No, you will start forgetting the calorie counts of things, I promise. And it's going to be weird because when you do, I remember, I think the first thing that happened was like, I forgot the calorie count of like peanut butter. And I remember thinking, wait a minute, was it this many calories or this many calories in there per tablespoon?
I can pull it up.
And then I was really, really wanting to flip that over to see. And when that happens, it's really important that you don't reinforce that and you don't flip that label over.
Hey! Mom, you are doing a horrible job.
Oh, the cat is back. I think it's like a full-time job. I'm not, but I still get a lot from viewing. Hey, I'm eating a yummy yummy English muffin with yogurt and blueberries. Yum. I am
George,
kind of
Mom!
in an English muffin. Oh my god, now all of them are down there. Eva,
Put them in the bedroom.
You're in charge of a cat. Okay, everybody, before I talk about my English muffin, this is George. We love George. George was cat number 3?
Yes. Jarvis?
Number 3 that we
Technically
got.
number 4 if we're counting Jarvis.
And, oh, true. And George has a crooked head.
He's a silly boy.
He is, because he has problems with his inner ear because he was a street cat.
Ear mites.
Yeah. And so now he's kind of like he falls off everything and he can't walk straight and he's just a hot mess. But we love him.
Oh, George sees the toy.
One more chance. If you kitty cats go over there, I'm gonna have to put you in the bedroom.
I thought you were gonna say I'm gonna have to put you down.
Anyway, I'm kind of in an English muffin phase too. Yum. I love them with peanut butter and honey, although I find that I have to put a layer of butter under the peanut butter to make it spread better. Kind of weird. And also yogurt and blueberries.
It's the norm.
I was never a big yogurt and fruit person. I love yogurt and granola, however.
I feel like fruit by itself isn't sweet enough to put in yogurt.
Something about, plus like granola, just yum. Yesterday I had yogurt and granola on one of my breaks at work, and I tried that Oatly yogurt for the first time. It's like an oat milk yogurt because I can't have dairy, and it not the best. But then I'm a vanilla yogurt person.
Like it?
I'm a vanilla yogurt person, and they didn't have vanilla, so I had to get strawberry.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the overnight oats.
No, I didn't try that one yet. And so I put granola on it, but then I had to drown it in even more granola to finish it. So, well, that's all right. Yeah, it worked. I'll tell you what though, in recovery, we went through a huge granola phase. It was rough. We had everything in that granola too.
We were like a factory.
We had like craisins and raisins and pine nuts and like everything you can imagine. Because
wild.
Also when you go through recovery, like if you want, say, sunflower seeds, you eat pine nuts because they seem like the healthier option. Right? If you want, like, what are some other things that we do? If you really want peanut butter, you eat almond butter because that seems like the more correct, more politically correct, healthier option. So we never like go for the thing we really want. We still have to like go for that slightly disordered option, but that's okay. Almond butter's amazing, and it's a stepping stone to get there.
Mom, what question are you on?
I don't know. I was just talking about the yogurt and granola.
I know. Someone said I start a meal support group Monday, but I'm terrified. Each day I almost call and cancel it.
Oh, I'm so glad you're starting a meal support group. That's amazing. So
that sounds so nice.
It sounds terrifying also. I agree. I mean, that sounds terrifying. Is it online or is it in person?
Ooh.
Yeah. Because in person, I mean, terrifying. But also online, I don't know. I know there was a dietitian on Instagram that did like a meal support, and they did the COVID meal support on Instagram.
Those were like the best things to come out of COVID.
Yeah. I did those a lot. I mean, that was like right when COVID hit was when I kind of was like, that's it. I'm doing it. I'm going in. Because I felt like during COVID, nobody was going to be looking at my body. I was home all the time. It was like a perfect time to just let it be. And so I really kind of jumped in, and those meal support things were really good. So hopefully they'll really help you, right? I mean, everybody there is going to be terrified.
The pot is too big, so I can't fill it all the way up to the top. So it's like there's a few inches of space. That's why it looks so funky.
Oh my gosh, it is a little funky, but that's okay.
That's my house.
We love them. It's cute anyway.
Ouch. Will you hand me my other cuttings?
I top muffin with sweet yogurt and blueberries and maple syrup and warm it up. Oh, that sounds so good. I didn't realize that you were eating that all together.
Because George doesn't know how to stop playing.
That sounds delicious. Lou, have you ever done that with an English muffin? Put like yogurt and fruit and syrup on it? No. It sounds really good.
Again, will you hand me my cuttings?
I do know. Any particular one or all of them?
The ones that all look the same. So there should be one in a white
It's
container.
a plant test.
Okay. Oh my god. Look at these
This
roots.
one's next. Blue has 55 plants now.
Mom, look.
So I would encourage you to not cancel, to fight through the fear, and go at least once. If it's miserable, that's what I always used to tell myself. I can try anything. If it's miserable, I just won't go back, right? You can do it, and you might feel...
I literally said not the white one.
Oh, I thought you said you wanted the one in the white container. Okay, so we have this one.
I said quite the opposite.
A very shiny little leaf.
Yeah,
okay.
That one, like, completely died. That one I took back from Spokane when I went.
It looks alive now.
I know.
And then there's this little guy.
What? Sorry, I'm watching a video.
I was over there watching videos and giggling. Okay, and then there's this little guy. Cute.
George, out.
I will say, when I first started recovering, it was very, I used to top my English muffins and things with like canned pumpkin and stevia because it was kind of a slightly disordered way to still get, the English muffin that I really wanted in. And so you just start where you are. But that sounds delicious, especially with the syrup on top. I am in a maple syrup phase because, like a lot of you, I would only eat that sugar. Do you guys remember the sugar-free maple syrup?
Mm-hmm. It's disgusting.
Yeah. It was like just sugar-free water in a bottle. But that's what I ate. And now I'm eating real maple syrup. And oh my gosh. And I'm trying.
Put them in the room.
Emma, you stop.
Oh my God, George is biting you.
George is like, no, I want the plants. Oh
That
my
was
gosh.
funny.
He is. Look at him. He's like, oh, are you playing, Bob? Are you playing with Grandma? Look at him. He's like, ow. Oh.
George!
Okay.
Little boy,
Come here, baby.
Did you see him?
That was just like that.
That was so mean.
That was just like a little bulldog I saw on TikTok today do a backflip.
George, I'm so sorry.
Anywho.
Bob.
I hope that you will go to the meal support group, and I hope that you will take something yummy to eat. I wonder, do they provide food? So I'm very fascinated with the meal support group. Should I put them in the bedroom?
Yes, probably.
Okay, I'm gonna put the cats in the bedroom. We are waiting for our food.
Oh no!
Oh, they order the. Oh, Lou, listen to this. They order the food, so it's a surprise and in person. Oh, and you have a process group after. That sounds amazing. Okay, now I want to go. That sounds
I
amazing.
spilled water.
Something about. Oh yes, you did. Something about
I would do one at a time. You're not going to be able to open the door.
something about doing therapy after. Oh, you do have a big gap under your door.
Yeah, I know.
And then something about having it be a surprise food also sounds very wonderful. I don't know if I would want to pick the food. I kind of like the idea that it's a surprise. I know it's terrifying, but also it kind of reminds me of when I decided to accept surprise food from you guys. George is a mess. Oh my goodness.
I know he is.
Here I
It's
go.
because you're not carrying him correctly. That's why.
He's like a big ball of jello. He's like a 30-pound ball of jello.
I just broke one of my cuttings. Whoops. Oopsies.
I'm out of breath.
Okay.
How do you do 4 cats? That was intense.
I don't know, honestly.
Well, I mean, maybe because I'm recovered, but honestly, that sounds like fun to go and have somebody else pick your food. In recovery, I used to wish other people would feed me. I would wish everybody would
Pay
force me
attention
to
to your
eat.
every beck and call.
I guess. I used to wish it would just be somebody else would serve all the meals and all I had to worry about was eating it. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice for everybody?
Right? Right?
Can you hand me my other cutting?
Okay, here we go. Now we're doing this one.
I'm a little bit worried about this one.
Okay, wait. I love how they're backwards. The questions are backwards. So.
Do you need me to help you?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. Because the questions come up in a weird order sometimes, and I'm like, I can't figure it out.
Okay.
Also, this is my new cup I got using my 400 points, my Starbucks points. I really loved it in there, but now I kind of feel like it just looks like a man's work thermos. Don't you think? Yeah, but it was really cute there. But they had a white one, and now I kind of regret, and I'm feeling like I should have got the white one. I should go back. Oh, no. Did you figure it out?
Not quite.
Okay.
They said advice for those afraid to use ER due to people who have COVID, needing the resources, etc., or even asking for help. I feel selfish, but I'm in this years and don't know when it's time and not to wait its time. But I can't help but feel selfish because there are those who are actually sick and not because they did it to themselves.
Wow, that's a lot to process. But first, you did not do this to yourself any more than somebody with, high cholesterol, which is mostly genetic, by the way. High cholesterol, people think is all diet. It is genetic. And just like diabetes, you know, like you did not do this. It is a genetic thing. It is an evolutionary biological adaptation that happened to you because you went into energy deficit. You didn't cause this at all. So I hate the fact that you feel like you have any like blame at all for the situation that you're in. Not at all. And I know the hospitals can be really scary with COVID right now, but if you need to be there, you need to be there as much as anyone else. Just like COVID isn't their fault, this isn't your fault. You did not cause it. You did not ask for this. I mean,
it's not like you're going to the hospital saying, oh, I'm so excited to take all these other people's places.
Right? I mean, and if like...
You're doing it because you need help.
I know. And if anything, like, you are just as much a victim of your illness as someone else is a victim of theirs. Like, you didn't ask for the adaptation in your head. You didn't ask to be born with this genetic predisposition. It's there. And so it's nothing that you did wrong. And what sucks, what I hate so much is like, it's so horrible and it's so hard to fight this. But now you're here and you have to fight this. And I think you said something about severe and enduring anorexia. Oh,
Eva, what are you doing?
I just accidentally knocked down something off the counter.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so I think you said something about like severe enduring anorexia.
Yeah, Thomas is waiting to grab our food.
Our driver is waiting to grab our food. I'm actually getting very hungry.
I'm getting excited. I have not been with
And so let me talk for just a second before we move on about... Oh, God! about SEEDS or severe enduring eating disorders or end-stage eating disorders or, you know, the kind of like lost cases. First of all, I don't believe that that's such a thing. I don't believe that there's no hope. I believe that always there's hope. There's examples of that all over the place. And also, it absolutely can come to be where you have had this for so long that you're exhausted and you're run down and your team is exhausted and they're run down and your coping skills are gone and their coping skills are gone. And so not only are you at the end, but your team is at the end and the people around you to help you are at their end, you know, their rope. And so that does happen where everybody around you, your family, the people that are supposed to be there for you, they're exhausted, just like you're exhausted, right? And there's some research out there that talks about how when people get into this, you know, end stage anorexia, end stage eating disorders, that they found that the thing that's holding them back the most at that point, when you get to that point, is fear of the unknown. And that is what you need to tackle at that point. You don't need to tackle, like, of course you need to gain weight and tackle the food, but the biggest issue holding people back at that point, and there's been research to back this up, is the fear of the unknown, is that fear of what is on the other side, of what is going to happen. So at that point, if you're in that stage, and if you're in that point and you feel like you're at the end stage, you feel like people are giving up on you, that you're giving up on yourself, like, try to tackle that fear of the unknown. Maybe find a different therapist, a new therapist, some fresh eyes, right? And instead of tackling like, I'm afraid to eat a burger, this is the time to tackle the big thing, right? Where I was at and where most people are at, it's time to tackle gaining weight and that kind of thing. But if you're in end stage anorexia, if you're at that level of people starting to just like lose their coping skills to help you with your coping skills, then it's time to start tackling it from a different point. And so this would be the time to get a different kind of therapist, somebody that deals with tackling the fear that you have of changing things, the fear that you have of changing your life in any way. What are you afraid of when it comes to getting over anorexia? Because that's what it becomes about when it gets to that stage. And so there's been some interesting research to back that theory up. So I would say if you're in that spot, it's really time to change things up and to try to tackle it from a different angle, and to maybe get a different therapist that deals with something. I know this is crazy, maybe something other than eating disorders, maybe something with your fear. Why are you so afraid to change your life?
Thomas is 4 minutes away.
Oh, Thomas is on.
And it even says you're up first with priority.
Oh, God, you guys, we already pay for Uber Eats Pass, and now we're paying per order for priority delivery. What a racket.
Will you help me?
Yeah, what do you need?
Will you grab my Monstera?
Okay, I'm on the hook for a Monstera. I think I know what one looks like. Let's see if I can find it. It's a test. It's a plant exam. Let me see if I pass the plant exam. Okay, don't tell me.
Okay.
Don't tell me.
All right.
God, this is harder than I thought. Don't tell this?
Yes. But be careful, be careful, be careful. There's a vine.
I'm so scared.
Do you see that vine?
Oh, this?
Yeah, untie the knot.
Okay.
Because it's attached with a knot.
Okay.
And then untwist it, and then you should be able to just pick up that Monstera.
Oh my God, okay. Where does the vine go?
I'm not sure yet.
Okay, it'll go right here for now.
Okay. That's where it was before. I want to find a better place for it because
God,
it's
I'm
really
terrified.
long.
This is like holding your baby.
I know. Imagine how I feel that
You're gonna replant this guy?
Yes, I asked my group and they said I
should. Look, I feel like I'm getting married.
It's like my pride and my joy. But I do need another pot, Mom.
Okay, here's this. Monstera, everybody. I chose correctly. I passed the plant exam.
You did.
Okay.
And I need a pot.
Which pot?
They're gonna be in that middle rack.
Right here?
Yeah, let me think.
You want me to bring a variety?
I don't know. Let me unpot it first, actually, and see how big the roots are.
Okay, well, I'm gonna bring these over.
Alright.
Oh wait, are you gonna need big ones?
See, I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know how big the roots are in here.
Okay, well, we'll come chat while we get unpotted.
Okay. Someone said, does weight gain equal fat? Please answer. I'm thinking about that all the time.
Maybe. Maybe, but is fat bad? Right? Like, fat is not bad. There's nothing wrong with fat. So,
Fat can be good.
yeah, so like, it's like, and everybody's perception of that threshold of fat is different. Right? If you're in a family where everybody's a little bit bigger, that maybe fat starts at a different level. So that's a very interesting question because, like, when in my family growing up, fat meant a certain body type. What does fat mean to you? Does it mean pounds on the scale? Does it mean a certain body type? Does it mean big legs but you can still have skinny waist? Does it mean a big waist with little? I mean, what does fat mean to you? And so, does weight gain mean fat? Not necessarily, but maybe. Like, I don't know. Would you consider me fat? I don't know. Like, maybe some people would, maybe some people wouldn't. I don't know. There's
Mom, this is so scary.
I'm terrified for you, and I'm not even watching.
Oh, no.
Is it root bound? I don't know what that means, but I thought I'd throw that word in there. I have no idea what that means, but I've heard you say it. That's terrifying, Lou.
2 minutes away.
So, I guess I would want you to look at what you feel like the word fat means and where your body is now. It is a research-based thing that people who do get restrictive eating disorders are generally on the slender side of the spectrum of weight. So chances are your original and set point body type is going to be on the slender side when it comes to the whole spectrum. So I would if you're afraid of fat and afraid of getting fat, which if you have a restrictive eating disorder, you probably are, and there's nothing wrong with that as a perfectly normal thing to feel. Like, I used to hate it when people say, you know, you shouldn't feel that way, or it's wrong to feel that way, or you're afraid to say you feel that way. Good God, it's part of having an eating disorder to be afraid of that. You're migrating, and if you're gaining weight and getting fatter, then you're failing at migrating, and thus you're wrong and bad and horrible. So it is a normal thing to feel when you have an eating disorder, so you don't have to feel bad for feeling that way. But also kind of just question it and think about it. Like, what does fat mean to you, and when do you eat? Are you fat at 160 pounds? Are you fat at 200 pounds? Are you fat, like, what does that even mean? Are you fat with that crap shit thing we call the BMI scale? Is that what you're going to go by? So there's a whole lot that goes into just the term fat. So what I would say is weight gain does not mean fat. However, if you gain weight, you might, I guess, get into the category that people sometimes call fat. It's not a bad thing at all. It's just a descriptor, I suppose. So, I guess I hate to answer your question like yes and no. Do I think you're fat because you're gaining weight? probably not. You're probably just gaining weight. If you're here talking to me, that means you're probably in recovery from an eating disorder, from a restrictive-based eating disorder. And what that tells me is that you have fear around gaining weight, but it's safe to do so. You have to do so. And what I will promise you is that when you do gain to your true genetic set point and you stay there for a while, those thoughts around how horrible it is to be a bigger size, they go away. They don't stay there. It's okay to be a bigger size because you no longer have anorexia telling you it's horrible. So that will also happen when you do that. What are you laughing about back there?
I'm literally just standing up because it is so root bound. I can't even like untangle the roots. Is he here, Eva?
No, he's almost here.
We're still waiting for our food. So, don't be afraid to gain weight. And also I like to think of it like, if I feel like it's bad to be in my body because it's too big, too fat, to whatever term you want to use, what is that teaching my kids? What is that teaching other people in my life? My mother, my sister, my family members, my friends that might be in bigger bodies or similar bodies. If I feel unacceptable in my body, what is that telling them about their body, right? And I don't want to send those signals to them. I want to make sure they know their body's okay. And by making sure I'm okay with my body.
He's here.
Oh my gosh, I was preparing for all the dogs to bark, but we're not in a dog house, we're in a cat house. We don't have to worry about that. So let's see, it's embarrassing. Let's see where you're at. I'm old. It's embarrassing. I'm 33, afraid to go to the ER even though I know I didn't need it. People are dying of disease and not an ED. So here's the thing though, whether you're 33 or 53, I'm 50. I'm 50. 50, right? Not 51 yet? 50? 50? 50. I'm 50. Good God. 50. And it's
the
like
same age as Erica Jane.
Thank you. We've been watching The Housewives. That's hysterical. Erica Jane looks like stellar though.
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm 50. Eating disorders do not go away just because we age. Like, what? People think just because people turn 25, 30, all of a sudden miraculously eating disorders don't exist. If anything, they get worse, right? They get harder to fight because we get more ingrained in our ways, and our brains and our neural pathways get cemented and cemented and cemented with all that fear. And so it becomes harder, but you deserve to be in that hospital just like anyone else. You have,
from eating disorders.
right? You have just the chance, you have probably the same chance of dying from an eating disorder when you get to that stage where you feel like you want to go in as somebody with COVID. So like, please go in if you feel like you need to go in. Please take that bed. You deserve that bed. Get that help, honestly. I think our food
should go grab the food.
Is it here?
I believe so.
Okay, just like I grabbed the Monstera, I'm going to grab the food.
Okay. He got the people first.
What pot did you want?
I don't know.
Let's check the people. Okay, I don't see anything. Well, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. I tried to set it out from the door so you wouldn't
Thank
get
you.
out. Okay, have a good day.
He seems sweet.
Oh my gosh, Mom.
What is that? Emma, did you get a drink?
I got a lemonade with my kids' meal.
You put it all right in front of the door. He's like, I tried to set it away from the screen door, but he set it across from the screen door where you open the screen door. Okay, so.
What a funny little man.
Yeah, that was funny. Okay,
Okay,
look at these tiny little drinks.
Oh, Mom,
I'm dead.
I need a
Look
pie.
at the size of that little drink. Eva wanted to get the $10 gallon of lemonade, but we did not. There's your widow drink, Eva. Oh, it's even a little strong.
Someone said, hi, I'm in recovery. I know I need to put on weight, but I'm always thinking about if I gain weight. But also I need you to get me a pot, Mom.
Oh, okay. Whoa, that was a whole lot. That was like part of the question. Okay.
Oh yeah, like I really can hold that right now.
Okay, what pot?
Do you see The green one?
Yeah.
No. The green one. Yeah. What about the orange one inside of it? Is it shorter?
Yeah.
I think that one would be okay.
I don't know. That seems like such a massive plant for that little tiny pot. Okay,
Well,
watch its
monsteras
leaves.
do like to be kind of root bound. And also you want to avoid putting it in too big of a pot because then it'll get root rot. So
Okay.
you always want to put in a pot about 1 to 2 inches bigger than your root ball.
Okay, so we're learning about plants and recovery.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Whew, that was rough. And I didn't hear your question.
Oh, hi, I'm in recovery. I know I need to put on weight, but I'm always thinking about if I gain.
Yeah. So first, please know that is typical anorexia, right? I think we forget that anorexia has symptoms just like everything else has symptoms. Okay, give us little barbecue sauces, and I am here for it. I'm actually
I love
super
those
excited.
things.
So,
Have you ever put those on vegetables?
no.
Because I have a packet and I want to try it because I don't cook meat for myself.
Potatoes, it goes good on chopped potatoes and veggies.
I have to do
So that is perfectly normal symptom of anorexia. And it's because your brain and your body thinks you're migrating and that you're in a famine. You've taught your brain and body that you are
It's a cheesecake.
in a, oh, let's look at that cheesecake.
Mom, I need a different
That is
pot.
actually the most gorgeous cheesecake I've ever
See?
seen. Unfortunately, I cannot eat cheesecake because
Did you get a salad, Mom, or is this my side salad?
I did not get a salad.
Mom, I
Yeah.
need a bigger pot. Those two
Okay, everybody, I'll be back. Can I set them all by you?
I just want that green one.
Okay, are we gonna need another one and another
I
video?
don't think so.
Okay.
I think it'll be okay.
Okay.
What did you get, Mom?
A burger.
That's Louisa's corn dog nuggets.
Okay, so it's perfectly normal to feel like this when your body thinks it's migrating because think about it. If you're supposed to be migrating, right, and you're in a famine and you start gaining weight, what does that mean? That means you're failing at migrating. That means you're stopping on the way. So, of course, your body's going to send you signals as that's wrong. That's bad. Don't do it. Don't gain weight. You're doing the wrong thing, right? That's absolutely normal when you have an eating disorder. And just like any other illness has symptoms, right? Like if you have high cholesterol, you're going to have symptoms. If you have renal, kidney issues, you're going to have certain
Every
symptoms.
single time you think that, every single time anybody says renal, I always just assume it's with somebody's butthole.
Oh my
I
God.
don't know
It's,
why. That's not
okay, well, that's exciting. But just like everything else has symptoms, so does an eating disorder. And eating disorder symptoms are the same across the board. This is why we know it's an evolutionary, genetic adaptation because we're all the same. We all have fear of weight gain, but that doesn't mean you don't get to tackle it, okay? Because also the way out is to gain weight. So that's where it sucks because we basically have to tackle our worst fears. Oh,
Okay.
Eva, we grab the ketchup.
This is as good
To
as
get
it's gonna
out
get for now.
of
Let's
this
hope
situation.
it doesn't die.
Where's your
So-
silverware?
Oh, there's silverware here
Is
too.
it first?
Oh, there is?
Yeah. So remember,
Okay.
gaining weight is actually your medication and what you need to do, okay? So if gaining weight is your medication, the shitty, horrible feelings that you feel after you gain weight, that's the side effect of your medication. And that doesn't mean only Lou would have cute 100% natural ketchup.
That's the kind that you get from Costco.
Oh.
Don't worry, I don't
So,
especially
The
buy
side
it.
effect of your medication being weight gain and extra food, the side effect of that, right, is feeling shitty and horrible and wrong. But you still have to do it. Lots of medications have side effects. That doesn't mean we don't take them. We still have to take them, okay? So when it comes to weight gain, I definitely had a problem gaining a bunch of weight at once. It was horrible. I did it in slow increments. I would gain a little bit. I would tell my dietitian, I'm not gaining anymore. I'm pissed. I'm
Fuck
done.
you.
And then I did cuss her out before. And I scared the shit out of her student one time. I scared her dietitian student so bad that I went back the next week and apologized. I felt so
What
bad.
did you do?
I know. And actually, she was like, well, it's okay because my student needs to learn that that's kind of like what happens
What did
sometimes.
you do?
Well, she was a student, and I don't think she knew a lot about eating disorders yet. because a lot of times dietitians don't deal with just eating disorders. They deal with other things, you know, and so I literally was like, she started to tell me, because I had to get blind weighed every time I'd stand backwards on the scale, whatever. And she tried to tell me that she got on that big scale that morning too. And she was so shocked at what it said because she hadn't weighed herself in so long. And so she was trying to compare how she felt seeing the number, this dietitian student, with how I might feel seeing a higher number. And I was just like, bitch, no. How you feel seeing that little, 5-pound number raise since you were in college is not how I feel. If I was just like pissed.
You said that for her?
Yeah, yes, I was pissed. It was a horrible time in my recovery. And I was just like, no. Stop even telling me how you feel when you get on that scale, because you do not understand. Like, I was just done. And then I think it was the same visit that I told my therapist or my dietitian. I was like, nobody fucking recovers. You are lying full of shit. Show me someone that has recovered then. Show me. Who recovers? And I was pissed. And then the dietitian student started on telling me this story about how in college she had these roommates and they were very disordered with food, but then they realized it and they started getting it. And I was like, bitch, no! That is not what I'm talking about. And I was so pissed. And so anyway, I apologize the next time I went. And honestly, I think it's things like that when my dietitian does not do eating disorders anymore. But anyway, back to weight gain. That was a little side vent on my part. I gained slowly. It's okay to gain slowly. I would gain 3 or 4 pounds. I definitely had an issue when it came to like weight numbers that ended in 0 or 5. Like those were rough for me. So like I would gain to the 01, you know? And then when I got to that weight that ended in a 1, I would just like be freaking out, but I would hold steady. I would just be like, okay, it's just 1 pound. It's like, I can do it. I'm right there. And then after a couple weeks or so, you know, you feel better. You feel more comfortable in your body. You're kind of used to it. And that is what happens. That's how our brains are set up to work. So then we adapt, we feel better. And then I would like gain a little more. I would creep up to the weight that ended in the 5. And I would be at like the 4 or something. And I'd be terrified to hit that weight that ended in a 5. And then I would just kind of make that jump to the 6. And then I would just freak out and I would hold there and I'd bitch at my dietitian and I would like probably text her. And actually I emailed her. I didn't have her text then. I refused to get her phone number because I knew I would go crazy. So I would like probably email her some rants and she would tell me it was okay, whatever. And I would white knuckle it. And then eventually I felt okay. And then I would go back up to the 0 again. I mean, and it was just like a cycle. And I did it, like I kid you not, 12 times or whatever because I gained a lot of weight. And so I didn't jump in and do it really fast because I knew if I did too much of a jump, I would run back. That was my history with my eating disorder. Scare, run back, scare, run back, scare, run back. So I did it slow. And it's okay to go slow, but it is going to have to happen. It is going to feel shitty. It is going to feel scary. It is going to be terrifying. You just have to know that that's how you're going to feel. And when those feelings come, you have to tell yourself, I'm just going to sit with that. I'm just going to deal with it. It sounds like you're just squirting whipped cream over there.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm just watering my plant.
This is beautiful. Honestly. Beautiful.
Can I have a bite?
Yeah, a bite of what?
Your sandwich, hamburger.
Can I tell you? I'm going to tell them a little story about that. Of course you can. You can put ketchup on it too. And mustard if you want.
Mom's hooking you up.
Here's a little funny story about Eva wanting a bite. And I think I told Lou this the other day. That there was a time in my recovery when... You're going to remember this, Eva. When I would not eat all day. I mean, I don't know if Eva knew I didn't eat all day. But I would not eat all day like many of us, right? We eat at night. The evening would come. I would tell myself I was going to eat a nice dinner. Of course, I would not eat dinner at night. I would probably eat a little bit of vegetables or something. And then right before bed, I always fed myself. And I would always feed myself these little TV dinners that had 300 calories or less. And eventually, I discovered they make TV dinners with like 170 calories. And then I got hooked on those. So I would always make myself this little TV dinner before I went to bed. And it was like the only warm, real food I got to eat all day long. And I would look forward to that food all day. And then I would put that little bit of food in my body, and then I would try to go to sleep. And if I couldn't sleep because I was thinking of food, I had like sugar-free candies, like sugar-free Werther's by my bedside. But sometimes, quite often, this is when Eva and I, do you remember Eva when we would snuggle in bed at night and watch TV together? Mm-hmm. We would like have a show, like The Office, was that what we were watching then? We'd watch The Office, and we'd watch it every night together, and I would have my little TV dinner, and I would come and get into bed with it, and Eva would inevitably say, ooh, can I have a bite of that? And the horrible mixed feelings I would get when Eva would say that, because one, it was my only warm food I got all day, and I looked forward to that all day, and I did not want to share, and I did not want to give her any. But then two, my eating disorder would perk up and be like, oh, if she takes 2 bites, that's 50 less calories. 170 minus 50, that means you're only eating 120 calories right now, and you're going to say 50. And then like my eating disorder voice would go crazy with happiness. So it was like this tug of war of like, I don't want to share my only food I get, but also, yes, please take some because the eating disorder would be so happy. So it was like, did you have any clue that was happening at all?
I don't really remember it.
No. It was, yeah. And then I started putting little TV dinners in there I thought you would like, but you never wanted to make any. You would just take some of mine. And it was horrible. But it was like my eating disorder was so happy all at the same time. It's crazy to have all those mixed feelings. And now, like Eva just asked for a bite. That's what reminded me. I am so well fed. If I want another burger, I'll literally go get a Big Mac on my way home. I am not beyond doing that. So she can have a bite. In fact, sometimes I feel like, oh yes, have some of my food because then I can eat something else in a minute. Like honestly, there's so many yummy foods out there to try. So many good foods in the world to eat that like, sure, share my food. I'll just get some more. But okay, that was a total another side rant. And I feel like we're gonna need more.
We're running out of space, Mom.
For what?
For my plants.
For your plants? How many plants do you have? Now that you combined 4 plants,
well,
instead of 55, do you really have 51?
I don't know, but I just have lots of room for a whole bunch of little plants.
Ooh, someone said beautiful plants. I need to plant more from ones that died when I was in the hospital. Do it. I mean, not me. I can't keep a plant alive to save my life, but Lou is amazing.
I didn't think I could either.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope you're eating some food. I have no idea if there's questions, so you're going to have to help me every now and then.
Okay, we'll get caught up when I am done.
Okay.
I'm almost done.
Mm.
Don't worry.
This is your cue to eat something yummy today. You want another bite, Eva?
No.
Eva's having corn dog nuggets, which I cannot
You
have.
said corn dog nuggets?
Nuggets, right? Aren't they corn dog nuggets? Because
They're
they have
mini
dairy.
corn dogs. No, I would say they're nuggets.
Oh, mini corn dogs. Yeah. I've noticed, I've noticed that my fingers get really cold during the winter. Is it something that happens to anyone else? It used to happen to me. My fingers would turn.
I literally lost one of my plants.
You lost a plant?
I just repotted, yeah.
My fingers would get like white and then pink and then red, like, and you could like push on them and they would look so weird. And I think there's a name for it. It's called like Raynaud's something. They tried to give me medication for it at one point.
Called being a bitch.
Called being a starving bitch. But honestly, now that I've recovered, I have enough fat, I think, that it just doesn't happen to me anymore. So I'd be really curious to see if anybody else has had that happen and then had it get better with recovery. Because it used to happen to me so much that I went to the doctor for it. And I was like, what is going on with my fingers and my toes? Because like I'll do recess duty and I'll come in and they're a whole different color and they like burn and they hurt and awful.
I really did lose. Oh, never mind. It's right here. I found it.
So another great reason to recover, right? Your fingers won't be so cold and mine would literally feel like, and as they come back, they would start like burning. It was awful. I can't decide if I want to add barbecue sauce to my burger. Eva, what do you think?
Do it.
Cool. Let's do it. It is good. This is delicious, honestly. Lou, someone just got a baby cactus.
Oh my gosh, cute.
Can they keep it in a shaded area?
I don't know. I don't do succulents. I kill all my succulents.
Lou kills all succulents.
I do. I'm really bad at keeping them alive.
I once had an aloe vera plant in our dorm room, and then our dorm room got so incredibly stinky that we had a contest to see if anyone could find out what was stinky, and it was the aloe vera plant because it had turned to mold.
Ew, what?
I know, it had molded. We had watered it too much.
That's so gross. Oh my god. That's disgusting.
That was my first sign that I should not have plants. Okay, now this is going to be really
What the heck is that?
messy. That's Lou's corn muffin. I saw a corn muffin the other day from Famous Dave's, and then I wanted some so bad that I made some. They're not good at all. Have you struggled with getting out of bed? If so, any tips on how to get started? You know?
Yes.
How do you get out of bed then?
I do. Sometimes I just don't. What? Like when you're at work and it's just me and Papa, I just go upstairs for a snack and go right back in bed.
Okay, so if you don't have to get out of bed, maybe you just need to be in bed right now. But what you do have to do in bed is eat. So I did used to keep a bunch of snacks by my bed. And I don't mean like the disordered sugar-free snacks. I mean like big chunky protein bars or granola bars or things like that. And at one point I had a rule that I couldn't get out of bed without eating, which is probably the opposite of what you should do because that would just be an excuse, you know, to stay in bed longer. But maybe you can make a rule that every hour you stay in bed, you need to eat another snack, right? So maybe that would encourage you to get up and eat some real food. And also, every hour you're in bed, your body does still need energy. I know it's a thing that we think that if we're just laying around, we don't need energy. Not true. Your body needs so much more energy than anybody else because you have an eating disorder. The moment you wake up, you need energy. Every hour or two, you need more energy. So Eva's answer would be to just stay in bed until you feel like getting up. And if you don't have to be anywhere, you can just hang out in bed and eat all day. Wonderful. That's really good for recovery. But if you do want to get up and you do want to do stuff, one thing that I do is I have a killer Apple playlist